Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Dr. Siddiqui Chebaye, and I would like to come to you once again to give you some uplifting information that will take your consciousness to another level of awareness. And today, I would like to talk about viruses, this thing that's going on today, this coronavirus thing. But we must understand these things so that we won't start tripping as we always do. See, they always intimidate us with all this information and all these fancy names and terms and so forth and so on. But virus is no more than a molecule that is acidy. It's an acidic molecule. And acid is something that always does what? It tears down. It tears down. But alkaline, it builds, it protects you, it balances you. So what that's telling us is that we have to strengthen our immune system. We have to strengthen our immune system. Or you could say get our defense, get our defense in our system balanced, which is the white blood cells. Got to up our count so that it can protect the red blood cells. And here's another example. Here's an example of that. For instance, let's say religion. Religion can be acidy, especially the way they give it to us. They're a bunch of confusion. Make everything spooky. But guess what? Spirituality is the thing that we should be striving for, because that's always alkaline. It always builds up. It promotes. It grows. It develops into something that is progressive, positive. So anytime you hear this word virus, this is mostly something they don't really know. So they just throw a name on it, to make it look more scary or whatever. But corona itself means crown. Crown. That's what corona means. So let's not get too spooky on these terms. That's why we need to study to show ourselves approvable to our Creator and our ancestors. That's the key to it all. We have to represent them. We have to honor them. We have to appreciate them, acknowledge them, and remember them. And in order to do that, we have to transform our energy into their energy. When in fact, we are their ancestors having a human experience. So when we transform our human ancestral energy into the spiritual ancestral energy, then there's where the connection is. And the spiritual ancestors will lead, guide, direct, and protect you along the way. So you won't have to be scared. Just develop and grow into your spiritualness. Bring out your godhood, your reality. So certain temperatures won't even allow viruses to survive. It can't even function in high temperatures, 80 and on up. Now, since we are sun people by nature, then those viruses can't touch us, especially if we are balanced. The only way that it can get you is when you're not balanced, when you have a lot of acid in your system. You have to clean your system up. Everything starts at home with you, not the building. So we have to eat the kind of foods that will generate the kind of energy that will jive with our system. And you can't fool energy. All that meat and processed food and all this stuff is definitely no good. Meat should be buried in the ground, not in your stomach. That was our survival food during slavery. But we must work our way out of it and get back to our original way of life. And that's spiritual. That's who we really are. Everybody know that, but us in general. But all of us need to know that we came directly from the Creator. That's why we are the original people. We are the first people. We are the natives. So with that in mind, brothers and sisters, we are sun people by nature, so those viruses can't touch us if we have our balance. That's only for the people in the cold climates. We didn't come from cold climates. They came from cold climates. And they love sweet stuff. That's where those parasites and everything multiply. It can't stand bitterness and so forth. And that's why we need to take our herbs. That's why when we was little, remember grandmom and all of them, go back in that yard and get that sassafras. Get that minty tea. It cannot survive in that. The warm minty, menthol. The bitter herbs will destroy it right away. So we must get back to our original way of life and get back to plant life. The things that jives with our system to make us so great. The only disease, brothers and sisters, is this: wrong thinking, wrong giving, and wrong eating. Once you turn that around to right thinking, right giving, and right eating, that's the pyramid. Right thinking, right giving, right eating. It comes together. That's the pyramid. That's balance. And we must be intentional with our efforts to get back to that. You can't fool energy. It's all about energy. You are what you eat. Remember that? Whatever energy you eat, because everything that exists has energy. Certain energy is no good for us. Just because you can don't mean you have to. This is the time for us to unify our efforts, to get more into ourselves. The government say you can't go outside, you can't do this, don't get 6 feet away from the ones you love and all of that. I'm not going for that nonsense. You know, the enemy says that. Why should I go by what the enemy says? And we always say, follow no man. Why are we doing it? Now, I'm not saying be stupid, but I'm saying use your God-given senses at all times, brothers and sisters, because we are children of the Most High, which we are gods. A lot of people make God a spooky thing. Jesus a spooky thing. Everything's spooky. That's why we got to study it to show ourselves approvable to our Creator and ancestors. Oil cannot mix with water. We are water. That's why water continuously moves. It might look still on top, but underneath it's moving. Oil is just slick. Let's get rid of it. You can have oil and water in the same glass for many years. The container, shake it up for years, but when you set it down, it'll separate two different energies. We are alkaline, all the others are acid. It is what it is. I know it can be disturbing, it can be painful and all that. God loves everybody and all this kind of nonsense. No one loves everybody. It's not even necessary because everybody don't have the same purpose. But with us, brothers and sisters, we are the protectors, the guardians of this earth. So let's take our rightful position. With that in mind, brothers and sisters, keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. Also, do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. In order to do that, you have to have a strong discerning spirit to know the difference. So with that in mind, brothers and sisters, get your balance so that you can get your blessings. Have a blessed day and happy new journey. Peace.